NKTelco Sports welcomes you to Maria Stein, Ohio, where the Versailles Tigers take on the Marion local Flyers. This game brought to you by Minster Bank, Keyhole Pizza, 21st Century Kitchens, Elmwood Assisted Living, Schwieterman Pharmacy, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, NKTelco, Francis Furniture, St. Mary's Trucking, Cy Schwieterman, West Staff, Radio Hospital, Carriage Works, First National Bank, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. This is an NKTelco Sports production.
Welcome to Marion Local High School and tonight's high school football game between the Marion Local Flyers and the Versailles Tigers. I'm Jeff Henshin. Alongside me tonight is Ron Cruzy, and we're already into week number 5, regular season. We're also into week number 3, Ron. Both these teams come in with a 1-1 record. Both teams, though, could come in with a little bit better mark than that.
Yes, they could. Versailles, they defeated Anna, and last week they got beat by Delphos St. John's 19-18, whereas Marion Local got beat by Coldwater, and then they turned around with a victory last week over Minster. And that victory, by the way, was Coach Tim Goodwin's 200th career win. So we want to congratulate him on that achievement.
Yeah, both these teams, as Ron mentioned, very difficult losses. St. John's defeats Versailles on missing 3 conversions after touchdowns. And then right here on Marion Local's field, Coldwater comes away with a 3-point win, snapping a 31-game winning streak. So Marion Local will look to start that streak over, and it will begin tonight in Midwest Athletic Action Football here at Marion Local. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the opening kick here on NKTelco Sports.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications, or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West Staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West Staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on a temp-to-hire basis. West Staff, your partner in business.
When you choose Radio Hospital for your wireless needs, you get 13 convenient locations, no waiting and long lines, premier service after the sale, and all the latest technology. With locations in Lima, Findlay, Minster, Kenton, Defiance, Napoleon, Wauseon, Bryan, and Archbold, we are right around the corner from you. Visit us today and experience the Radio Hospital difference. We are simply neighbors serving neighbors, providing a refreshing alternative to high-pressure stores. Radio Hospital is your Verizon Wireless premium retailer.
Welcome to Marion Local High School once again for tonight's Midwest Athletic Conference game between the Versailles Tigers and the Marion Local Flyers. And a beautiful evening for football, Ron. A nice atmosphere again. The breeze I noticed during the national anthem, which by the way was played jointly by both Versailles and Marion Local's band, did an excellent job. A little bit of breeze coming from the north, going to on our screen left to right, north to south, may come into play. We'll have to see once how that affects the teams.
Yeah, it may, especially in the passing game. But fortunately for everybody here, the game probably will be played mostly rushing the football. Versailles like to rush it. Their weakest part of their game is their passing game. And for Marion, they like to rush the ball also. They have a couple guys averaging over 8 yards per carry.
And that'll lead us right into our keys to the game tonight, brought to you by Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Salina, where the dealer makes the difference. And first round for the Versailles Tigers.
Okay, for Versailles, the first key is create turnovers. Right now they stand at a -3 turnover ratio, whereas Marion is even, so they would like to force some turnovers on the Marion side when they have the football. Number 2, the rushing attack. They need to use their rushing game to control the clock. They need the clock to keep running and kind of shorten the game that way. For the Marion Local Flyers, the first key is their rush defense. They give up only 38 yards a game rushing, and Versailles averages 174 yards a game, so something has to give there. Number 2, the Marion Local experience. They start a lot of juniors and seniors, almost all of those have experience out there because in previous years they build up a lead and the younger guys get to play. So they keep turning that over, and that's a benefit to the Flyers.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you again to Budge Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Salina for sponsoring our keys to the game. And that will lead us up here to our kickoff. Once again, both these teams 1-1 in Midwest Athletic Conference play. Marion Local overall a 3-1 record. Versailles even on the season at 2 wins, 2 losses. Versailles opened up the year with a win at Salina 13-7, then lost to Valley View at home 35-0. Defeated Anna on the road 20-12, and then, as we mentioned in our pregame, lost a heartbreaker last week to Delphos St. John's in a home game 19-18. So again, they've not been able to get a home victory out of the Tigers. All their wins have come on the road, and they have a road game here, so maybe that's a little bit in their favor as well, possibly.
Right, whereas Marion, their only loss came to Coldwater. Otherwise, they beat Chaminade Julienne and Macomb, and last week they defeated Minster.
That loss you mentioned, Ron, to Coldwater, as I said earlier, they broke a 31-game home winning streak here at Booster Field. So Marion Local upset about that loss. Again, if you've been out of the country for a couple years or so, that Coldwater-Marion Local matchup has been quite the games the past couple seasons, and 2 of them, in fact, the past 2 have been nail-biters, and Marion Local short end of both of them. There's the opening kick with the Versailles Tigers, the first to receive, and a decent run back out across the 32 where they will start on offense. Garrett Thompson on the return.
32-yard line, first and 10, Tigers.
And Versailles, they start the game with some injuries, Jeff. A couple of their running backs that they relied a lot on the first 4 games are out this evening.
Yeah, they've played 4 weeks, and they've had 3 key injuries to some of their, if you will, leaders on offense, and they're going to have to find a replacement for them. One of them being Kyle Subler, was hurt last week in the Delphos game. Curtis Richling was hurt in the opener against Salina. And George Groh was hurt in the Anna game. All running backs, and when we talk about injuries, though, Ron, I'm sure Marion Local doesn't have a lot of sympathy. They lost a big component of their offensive line, or their line, in that Coldwater game. An injury to number 74, John Dirksen.
So right off the bat, the first play of the game, they lose 3 yards on a rushing attempt. There was a flag on the play, but Marion Local declined it.
So rough start for the Tigers. Their first possession, -3 yards. As I mentioned, John Dirksen lost during that Coldwater game with an injury, being replaced by Ryan Kemper, number 53. Game's first attempt at pass will be a sack. So pressure by the Marion Local Flyers.
Another loss of about 6 on that play, so Versailles is going the wrong way. Now Marion has them where they want them in a passing situation, 3rd and long.
22-yard line. Sack credit to 72, Lance Brunswick.
Lance Brunswick, 6'1" senior, credit for that sack. And again, a very difficult down and distance, and we talked about the wind. If they want to throw Ron of any length, it's going to be in, I'd say, a noticeable breeze down on the field, as the breeze obviously not coming in our press box. It's moving left to right on your TV screen.
There's a attempted screen pass over the middle, incomplete.
That will force a punt. And on for the punting duties for Versailles is Josh Steinbrenner, 6'2" junior. He will drop back and attempt to give his team some decent field position.
We're going to see 2 pretty good punters in this game. Josh Steinbrenner averages 40.5 yards a punt, and that's 3rd in the MAC.
Ryan Toby, Matt Rothman back for the Flyers, and that was knocked down and off of a Marion Local player, and they maybe got it, but that wind held the ball up, and it bounced and right off the backside of a Flyer, and Marion Local very fortunate, Ron. And you talked about the keys of game and turnovers. That would have been a big break for the Tigers.
Versailles needs turnovers, and that would have been one of them right there if it would have bounced their way.
But again, Mother Nature holding that punt up high. basically shutting it down just before it crossed midfield. And that is where the Flyers will take over with very favorable field position on Versailles' 46-47 yard line. Dwayne Ligers will quarterback for the Flyers. And he will go under center here to, he'll take the shotgun snap. Positive yards on the first play as Nate Moeller with the reception. Going to bring up 2nd down and 6. And here's that punt we talked about as you get a replay here of the
Your
punt.
Your parents have given you so much
We'll
throughout
we'll
the
show
years.
it to you. Back to live action
They
here.
were there when you won first.
Inside run stopped by the Tigers in on the tackle. Number 51, Eric Kanapke on the stop. No gain for the Flyers. So I bring up 3rd down and 4, probably 2-down territory, Ron. You'd think at this field position, and the Flyers have a good yards per average carry on rushing, and if they get half their average on this carry, they will have a 1st down.
Right, they average about 6.5 yards per carry.
They didn't get much on that carry. They're going to need all of it, at least half of that average, to move the chains. Nice tackle, but it's going to bring up a very 4th and short, about 4.5 yard, as the ball carrier was Nate Moeller. He got 3. The 4th and 1 from the Versailles 38. And here in the first couple minutes of this first quarter, already a big play coming up, as if the Tigers can stop the Flyers, they will take over, and Marion Local will not have been able to take advantage of a good field position. 1st down, not by much, didn't need much. Nate Moeller for 1.5 yards. So nice job by the Marion Local offensive line.
Right, that was a nice hole there. We might want to mention, too, they're missing their big guy, John Dirksen, 6'6" and 295.
Mentioned that earlier when he talked about injury. He talked about Versailles losing some running backs. Marion Local knows what it's like to lose a key part of your team, and Mr. Dirksen in shorts and on crutches right down here in front of us, Ron, wearing number 74, the blue cast on. So the Flyers run the ball again. Moeller around the right side. And a nice gain of about 6 inside the 30-yard line for the Marion Local Flyers.
So far, except for the first play, everything's been rush. Mix it up the middle and around the end, and it's been a dose of Moeller.
Clock running. There's an inside handoff. And Jack Holman, the fullback, busts through for a 1st down. So the Flyers again move the chains on the ground. Flyers are coached by Tim Goodwin. He's in his 18th season at Marion Local. He's won 82% of his games. And Ron mentioned earlier, won number 200 last week against Minster. And what a career he has had since taking over, I believe, in the 1999 season. Good pursuit on the outside by the Tigers. Liger's able to get rid of it. Incomplete as the pass.
Liger did a nice job there avoiding the rush, and then probably hurried it a little bit more than what he wanted to, going to his left, and the throw was behind the receiver.
Noah Grisey, number 10, in on the heat that he applied against Ligers, maybe forcing that incomplete pass. Talked about Tim Goodwin, the 18th season since 1999. He's had his teams in 14 Final Fours in the state playoffs, 8 championships coming out as champion in football. So a great run over those years with Coach Goodwin. Last year, the Flyers had their four championship streak, if you will, stopped in the finals, a runner-up, and a tough loss last year that the players are still not happy with, but have to move on and use that to build upon, as they were runner-up last year, if you will, breaking a string of 4 consecutive championships. 3rd down and 6. Clock running here with a lot of action on the ground for the most part, Ron. The clock continues to run. We're almost halfway through this first quarter. Pass to the end zone is caught. Number 83, a 20-yard pass and catch, Matt Collig. Collig on the reception. And the game's first score comes at the 6:33 mark. Again, Ligers to Collig. Nice pass play, well thrown. Had the wind behind him again.
Use Collig's heights. He's at 6'4", 190-pound senior. So you throw it up, and he goes up and gets it.
Yeah, he didn't realize the size advantage until the ball was thrown. It really looked like he had a good footer. I mean, a lot of separation between him and the defender, and it was a perfectly thrown ball. So both Collig and Ligers hooking up nicely on that first touchdown score of the game. Tyler Mesher will try the point after touchdown. And it is good. Mesher the kicker, the holder Joel Goodwin, the snapper Kendall Bruns. And here is a replay. Watch on the left-hand side of your screen. And by the time he went up to get it, really looked like he had gained separation from the defender.
Right, the coverage really wasn't that bad. He just used his height and threw it up in the air, and not much he could do with a 6'4" guy out there.
Well, for Ligers, that's his 5th touchdown pass on the season. He came in completing 51% of his passes. Now his 5th touchdown through the air. And for Matt Collig, that might be his first catch, I believe, of the year for a touchdown. So the Flyers off to a good start. The game's first possession now. Each team has had one. Versailles was 3 downs and out. And remember, that drive started after a punt that was kind of held up in the air, bounces, hits a Marion player. Very easily could have been recovered right at midfield by Versailles. Instead, Marion gets it, converts a critical 4th down, 4th and short.
Yeah, that'd been a good way there for Versailles to keep Marion off the field on offense, and the ball just didn't bounce their way, and Marion recovers it and then goes down, and about 8 plays later, 9 plays, they get a touchdown.
Versailles on the far side of the field, a little bit of room. Garrett Thompson, nice return out to the 30-yard line, and that is where Versailles will start their second possession. I want to mention Matt Collig. That was his 4th catch of the year, his 2nd touchdown receiving. So the Versailles Tigers will look to, if nothing else, just consume some clock, get some first downs, try to move the chains, keep the Marion offense off the field. Bo Bay, a 6'1" senior, wears number 77. He's a center for the Tigers. Handoff around the outside and slipping up and under is number 10, Noah Grisey, 5'10" junior for good positive yardage.
Gain of about 6 on that play.
Quarterback for Versailles, number 11, Alex Wendell, has completed 12 of 33 passes this season for 126 yards, owns 1 TD, but has thrown 4 interceptions. We talked about the turnover ratio for the Tigers. They're negative.
And that comes out to about 35% completion.
And there's a tackle for loss.
So they've run the ball 4 times now, and they've only had a positive gain 1 time. And that was the play previous to this is 6 yards.
Jack Homan, a tackle for loss for the Flyers. Nice penetration by the defensive line. Homan on the season now 5 tackles for loss, so he's the team leader in tackles for loss. He's right up there leading the team in tackles with 23. Blitz coming by the Flyers, picked up, passed down the field, broken up. It was 10v10 that time as number 10 for the Flyers, Matt Rothman, he breaks up the pass that was intended for Grisey, and Grisey, Ron had it for a count, but Rothman able to break it away.
Right, the pass was on target, and Rothman just made a nice defensive play there right at the last second, put his left hand up there and knocked it down.
We'll keep an eye on this punt again with Steinbrenner driving it into the wind. That one a little bit lower, not held up as much. maybe a miscommunication with the punt returners, and it will take a Versailles hop to about the 27-yard line, and that is where the Flyers will take over with their second possession.
Yeah, the punter split the two return guys, and both of them thought their jobs was to block, so they both blocked and nobody took the ball.
Well, I guess it's better than running into each other and causing a fumble. So
yes,
as the Flyers, they'll move north to south, left to right on your TV, and that is the direction the wind right now is blowing, north to south. And thank goodness, Ron, there's actually some cloud cover to knock down some of the heat. It was very warm this afternoon, very comfortable tonight. Grisey can't quite come up with the sack. He's been in there a couple times, and Liger's able to avoid the sack and get rid of the incomplete pass.
Right there, the defender came in unblocked almost that time, and Liger's made a nice move to avoid the initial contact and then hurried to throw, and it was low.
Second down 10, 4 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Jeff Henshin alongside me tonight is Ron Cruzy. This Midwest Athletic Conference game, week number 3. Both these teams 1-1. They're chasing undefeated teams Coldwater, St. Henry, and Delphos St. John's. Playing some good football this year, all at right now 2-0 on the season. Moeller around the left side, hit a strung out. Nice job by the Versailles Tigers. Mitchell Paulus, number 33, a senior, able to come up with a loss for the Versailles defense. Now 3rd and 12 from the 29. So good play by that Versailles defense. Now you got to think here, if they don't get a first down in this possession, it's punt time, being in the field position that they're in.
You got 3 receivers split out wide to the right this time.
Collig, well, they don't see him, and instead they go over to the right side to Moeller, and looked like Matt Collig had gained some separation on a crossing route, but being a little bit of under pressure, didn't see him, and the pass to Moeller incomplete.
Throw was a little high that time. Didn't have his feet set, and he threw it high.
Good job by the Versailles defense. Punting with the wind behind him will be the Flyers. Jared Bergman, number 45. I'm sorry. Yes, 45.
Marion rushes a guy out there. They only had 10 guys out on the field.
Joel Goodwin rushing or hustling in to be an extra blocker. Low line drive will be fielded, returnable. Nice defensive stop on what could have been a returnable kick by number 34 of the Flyers, John Tangeman. It was a low liner that.
Yeah, Alex Wendell did a nice job there receiving that punt. That was a low liner and
if he
wobbly.
And get it, it probably bounces. It might still be rolling.
Right. With the wind, he could have saved him at probably 20 yards there on the roll.
But I thought Marion did a nice job with that low liner. You mentioned Wendell coming up, kind of on the move. If he breaks a tackle, he's gaining some more yards. So good play really by both teams. Good field position for the Tigers at the 42. Pitch to Grisey. He finds some running room. 9-yard carry.
That's their best rush of the evening so far. A nice job of blocking by the right side of the Versailles line.
Noah Grisey, junior, with a good positive yards on first down.
We talked about it. Marion only gives up about 1.5 yards every rushing attempt.
Noah Grisey on the season came in with 17 carries, 53 yards, and a TD. And he'll be looked upon now with the injuries to be maybe the feature back. Handoff, I believe, is Grisey. He is going to be marked just about right at the line to gain. And we'll probably have a measurement. It'll be short by half a yard.
About a half yard on the play, bring up 3rd and short.
So it'll be interesting here. I doubt if it's 4-down territory on the 48, but they only have about a half yard to go for the first down.
Wendell under center. Pitch to Grisey. He's through the line. First down. Gain of 5. Gain of 4 for Grisey and move the chains. for the Versailles Tigers as they.
Versailles has found a hole over there on the left side of the Marion line.
Yeah, the right side of the offensive line or the left side of the defensive line.
Right.
They've gotten some good chunks of yardage. Past couple of plays, they've run that direction.
All their yardage has come
that way
to the right
yeah,
side of the
I think nothing's
offensive
come to our
line.
side, has it?
Nope.
Ron and I sitting on the Marion local side of the field. Right now, all the positive yardage for Versailles has actually happened on the other side in front of their bench. Up the middle, no gain. Host of Marion local defenders to stop Grisey for a half-yard gain at the most. Jack Homan in on the tackle for the Flyers.
That's what Versailles wants to avoid, the second and long.
Well, they're at 2nd and 10 now. They've going to have to hope to find some positive offense here, and we'll look to see once if they go to the right side again. Looking to roll. He's going to be in trouble. He's got to throw against his body.
Going down.
And tackle for a big loss. Give the quarterback sack to number 11, Sam Hulsman. What about a 10-yard loss? Maybe 11-yard loss. And that's twice now, Ron, they've kind of rolled out. And that's a tough throw when you're coming this way for a right-hand quarterback to kind of get planted, especially when you're under pressure.
Every time he went to turn his shoulders to square him up, you know, he couldn't get it done. And finally, Marion dragged him down. It had been a good time to unload that, probably out of bounds.
So Hulsman with the quarterback sack. Wendell inside handoff. Thompson will gain about 3 yards, and again, 3 or 4 Flyers there on the stop. 3-yard gain for Garrett Thompson.
So they elected not to throw on 3rd and forever there.
And now it's 4th and forever, 4th and 17 officially, and they will punt for the 3rd time. So Steinbrenner won't necessarily have to kick it into the wind. The game clock would have run out. They elect to do so. It's fielded on the near the shoestrings, if you will, and return for a few yards, and that'll be the end of the first quarter here from Marion Local High School, Booster Field. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have second quarter action here on NKTelco Sports.
At 21st Century Kitchens, we know that every home has a style to go with it. From first-time homebuyers to families with the pitter-patter of little feet to teenagers taking over the kitchen, 21st Century has what you want, customizing the style, layout, and price point to fit your budget. Kitchens by Craftmade and quality cabinets, countertops by Wilson Art and Cambria, along with availability of granite, marble, and wood.
See what's in store behind the yellow door for your 21st Century Kitchen.
Your parents have given you so much throughout the years. They were there when you won first place. Your first heartbreak. Your first car. Your first wreck. Graduation. Planning that special day. Is it time to give back? Give your mom the life she gave you at Elmwood.
12 minutes are in the books. The Flyers, the only score of the first quarter, they lead 7-0. They will have the ball to start the second quarter.
Yeah, so far we got Versailles at a -3 total for rushing and 0 for 2 passing. Marion Local 2 out of 5 passing, 20 for 24 yards, 21 yards rushing.
Inside handoff. The Flyers begin as they now move from right to left into the wind. Jack Homan, the ball carrier. Flyer offensive line anchored by number 60, Luke Monin. He's the center. Right guard, Nathan Berkey. Right tackle, number 53, Ryan Kemper. Left guard, number 67, Kyle Koenig. Left tackle, number 62, Nick Heckman. Our offensive line has done very well so far this season. And again, playing without number 74, John Dirksen, out with injury. There's a play around the left side. Moeller will be eventually corralled at the 24-yard line. So he went from the 30 all the way down to the 24-yard line, or the 14-yard line. So nice run by Nate Moeller. We'll take another look at it here. Some nice, excellent blocking.
He gets the corner, and he's got to look for his blockers there. He wants that guy to get cut off at the top. Couldn't quite do it. Had to slow up too much and got caught from behind.
Another run up the middle by the Flyers. Ball down to the 5. It was a, figure out how long a run that was, 50 plus?
I got 60 yards there.
60 for Moeller on the run. Well, the Flyers back in scoring opportunity right now. Second down, 4 yards to go from the 5. Moeller back to the horse they go, and he scampers in for a 4-yard touchdown. Nate Moeller at the 10:23 mark of the second quarter. Flyers go up 13-0. Credit that drive to Mr. Nate Moeller right there coming into your living room, number 28, and good blocking by his teammates to allow the score. On for the extra point will be place kicker, number 9, Tyler Mesher. Holder, Kendall Bruns. I'm sorry, Joel Goodwin is a holder. Snappers, Kendall Bruns. So the Flyers, although doing it on the ground, they got a quick scoring drive. They started this quarter at a 12-minute mark, and we played just over a minute and a half. And they drive down the field for a touchdown. We will take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more football here on NKTelco Sports.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
If you want to save 70% on your heating, cooling, and hot water costs, the answer is right under your feet. Let New Knoxville Supply install a water furnace geothermal system and use the natural temperature from the earth for a more constant temperature in your home. Also ask about our new Symphony home management system. Control temperatures, track energy usage, and receive safety alerts for everything, including your sump pump. All from anywhere, anytime. Now is the time to calculate your savings at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Welcome back. The Flyers have opened up a 14-0 lead. And they are set to put the ball back into play. It's fielded by the Tigers on the far side, looking for some room, and will be corralled at about the 27-yard line. And that is where the Versailles Tigers will start their third series. First one here of quarter number 2. Tigers found a little bit of offense rhythm last drive, but had that big costly sack that really kind of squelched any hope they had of continuing to move the chains.
Right now it's Marion type football. The defense holds 3 and out, and then the offense picks up some big rushing plays, and they score.
Inside handoff to number 4, Garrett Thompson. 2-yard gain. As we go inside of the 10-minute mark. I want to remind everyone quickly here as we got a little bit of a time, as some of our sponsors that include West Staff, Radio Hospital, 21st Century Kitchens, Elmwood Assisted Living, Schwiedemann's Pharmacy, New Knoxville Supply, Keyhole Pizza, Minster Bank. Some of our sponsors that allow us to bring you this. There's an inside handoff read very well by the Flyers. Little to no gain for Tanner Bay. Tackled by the Flyers, number 12, Isaac Eifert. Also, the rest of our sponsors include Minster Bank, Minster Dental, Francis Furniture, St. Mary's Trucking, Cy Sweeterman, Carriage Works. Our scoreboard sponsor, again, as always, First National Bank, Think First. And our keys to the game were brought to you by Budge Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Salina, where the dealer makes the difference. And our player of the game tonight will be sponsored by the Corner Cafe. So thank you again to those fine sponsors for allowing us to bring you this entertainment. And that way, pass really thrown to no one there. I don't know if McEldowney cut the wrong way, but he cut in. The pass went out.
Yeah, definitely miscommunication there by the quarterback and receiver.
Well, short time of possession that time, Ron, for the Tigers. You talked about keeping the clock running with them having the ball, and they're going to have to give it right back after only consuming just about a minute and a half off game clock.
And they've got their work cut out for them to accomplish that with, with the Marion defense the way it is against the rush. And
Steinbrenner, his punt will bounce inside the 30 and be down to the 28-yard line. So the Flyers will trot back out on the field. As I mentioned, Coach Goodwin, his 18th season. We talked about the history of the Flyers, especially since the new century began, the 2000 years, if you will. They've been in 14 Final Fours, winning 8 championships, 2 runners-up. You go to the other side of the ball, Ron Versailles back not just too long ago, had a great run as well. They've been in 18 tournaments. They've been in 12 Final Fours. They've won 6 championships, and they've been runner-up 3 times. So both these schools have had nice history, and there's a pass that's intercepted by 22 and goes out of bounds. So the pass underthrown a bit. Aaron Mangan, right spot, right time, makes a nice play defensively and will give his offense decent field position near the midfield line.
Right, he threw the ball up against the wind, kind of held it up a little bit. And there you see it's underthrown, and the defender's right to him, just as though he's the receiver at that point.
A nice play by the Versailles defense. They needed a stop. They needed a turnover, and they get it. So you mentioned, just following up on the Versailles, they won the state title, and their last one was 2003. Then that was in 98, and then they won 3 of them in 95, 94, 93, and 1990. So they had their string of domination, if you will, in the 90s. Marion Local, basically since 2000 until this season, they've been in the conversation for state titles, one way or the other. So second and long, 2nd and 9. Clock now running as we approach the 8-minute mark of this second quarter. Wendell under center will have McEldowney go in motion. He gets it. Will run to the left, and he is going to be corralled and tackled. I believe first contact was by 27, Ryan Toby.
Once again, that time they ran left, and they're getting very little yardage on the left side of their line. Most of their gains have been coming on the right side.
In the first quarter, when they were going the other direction, all the positive plays went away from us. Now we switch ends of the field, and they, again, seemingly don't want to run towards us, Ron. And
right.
We'll see if they can change things up here. 3rd and 7. Adam Miller in his 5th season at Versailles. There's maybe a mix-up. Wendell will keep it, and he will gain about 2 or 3, and it'll be 4th and 5. They talk about Adam Miller. This may not seem impressive, but 5 seasons in his 5th season now. He's 1-3 against Marion Local. I'll guarantee you there aren't very many coaches with 5 years of experience with any win, so he was able to earn a victory against Marion Local, probably one of his, I would say, his first couple seasons, if not his first one. So that stop by the Marion Local defense will force another punt. Good foot on that ball, and it will go into the end zone. It's too bad he didn't boot that the last time, but It'll hurt his net a little bit. It'll be out on the 20, but that one struck very well.
A good decision there by Rothman to let that ball alone. That was probably, what, a 49-yard punt?
Well, depending, do you take it from where they snap it or from where he kicks it?
From where they snap
well,
it.
And it almost landed on the goal line, so, or, it was very close. Wind at his back, and again, it's a nice breeze out there going left to right, and they can't hurt but help those kickers in that situation where passing. We saw Marion Local strike on a touchdown pass in the first quarter on a nicely thrown ball. A couple of whistles here, and they're going to reset the play clock. Now they will wind the play clock. It starts at 25 seconds in high school on the referee's whistle. Handoff on the inside. About a 4.5-yard gain, 5-yard gain.
That time they had 3 wide receivers split out to the left, and the guy came in motion from the right to the left and ran it left. When they ran that 60-yard run there
by
Moeller, they had this set up 2 receivers wide to the right, and they ran it to the left.
And they run it to the left again. Last carry was by Nate Moeller, number 4. This one is by number 28, Nate Moeller. I'm sorry, last carry was by, not for sure what I said. I meant to say Henry Keller. This one was by Nate Moeller. Moeller having a nice start to this game. As Ron mentioned, that big burst of close to 60 yards set up his touchdown run of about 4 yards a couple plays after that. 3rd and 1. Flyers, again, don't need a lot, but they get enough. Moeller gets the first down yardage, and that will move the chains again as we're under 6 minutes. 14-0 lead in favor of the Flyers.
The Flyers have run the ball every time, but they've only have 1 pass. 8 rushing attempts.
2 passes.
2 passes.
The touchdown and the interception.
That's right.
Another run here to the short side. Nice defensive pressure again. That's Grisey. He's been in the backfield a lot. Number 10, Noah Grisey. We've called his name a few times, and usually it's when he's putting pressure on the quarterback, or in this case, tackling the Flyers for loss of gain or loss of yards. I guess it's right at the line of scrimmage. I thought he lost a few. 2nd down, 10. Little misdirection. And finding some open running rooms, number 10, Matt Rothman. 5'9" sophomore. Saw a lot of action around behind the line of scrimmage, and Rothman that became the beneficiary of some nice hole running room for a 9-yard pickup.
Right, they showed a formation where it looked like they were going to go to the right side, and then Rothman cut back to the left and had a nice gain there of 9 yards.
They've got Jack Homan, 6'3" senior, in the backfield as a fullback. They will follow his lead block attempt, but boy, the Tigers able to overrun the Flyers, and they're going to have a loss of about 1 and bring up 4th and 2 from the 40-yard line. We'll see if Coach Goodwin's squad wishes to risk it or kick into the wind.
They're going to punt it, which I think is probably a good decision on the 40-yard line. The way their defense is playing, give the ball up and hold them and probably get the ball back in pretty good field position.
Low snap, Jared Bergman recovers it. It's a low liner off, a dangerous one. It was touched, and boy, Wendell able to catch it, but kind of a tricky hop.
Yeah, lucky he didn't knock that any farther up in the air.
He wouldn't have time to catch it.
No.
He touched it, and the Flyers were bearing down. Luckily for the Tigers, Wendell able to corral it.
At least he had the presence of mind to concentrate on the football in the air and not the blue jersey coming at him.
Well, again, difficult starting field position. Inside the 20-yard line are the Tigers. Coach Adam Miller, his team will need to put together a drive here. The final 3.5 minutes before half. And they received the game's opening kick, so the Flyers, I'm pretty sure, should get the third quarter kick. That play strung out way to the right, no room at all. About 9 blue jerseys. Force a loss of 2 yards. Marion Local, see once what they do here. A lot of time left if they can get a force a punt. They still have 3 timeouts left.
Right.
So
And Versailles looks up and already they're, it's 2nd and 12. Exactly what they don't want.
Play clock at 10 seconds. Roll out to the right, pass thrown incomplete. And that will stop the clock, so that'll help the Flyers. It will hurt the Tigers.
Little swing pass out to the right, and that time he got rushed and rushed into a mistake. He threw it low. If he'd had a little bit more time, the guy was wide open, he probably would have completed that pass.
Noah Richard was the intended receiver, and you mentioned just not a very catchable pass. And 3rd down and long for the Flyers defense. Basically just keep it in front of you and force the 4th down and look to receive the ball with plenty of time for your offense to go to work. There's a penalty, and a timeout will be called, so we'll take a timeout also as Versailles will burn their first with 2:46 left here in the half. You're watching high school football on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Welcome back to Marion Local High School. The Flyers on top 14-0. It's 3rd and 17, 3rd and 12 from the 17 run, and Marion Local has to like the chances on this down and look to score yet before they go into halftime.
Right. It looks like they made the right decision to punt that ball, obviously. I don't think there was much of a decision there, but now they got a chance here for a 3 and out and get the ball back in good field position.
I missed. It was 4th down, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 3rd down.
My fault. Now it's 4th down. Got down ahead of myself. And as you mentioned, even when Marion Local had the ball, near midfield, 4th and a couple, look at what it's, the punt it, let your defense do what it's been doing. It's really the defense has dominated the Versailles offense.
Right, so now we have a timeout by the Flyers that leaves them 2 timeouts left. So now they can control the clock with their timeouts.
Also want to remind everyone, once again, NK Sports and the sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of these games that you can see on Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Friday, September 23rd at 11. Also Tuesday, September 27th at 7. Basically every Friday night we do a game. It's on again that night at 11. And also on Touchdown Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. And you can also see them on demand by visiting NKTelco website. And there's a nice kick. That'll take it for Versailles. Hop inside the 35, and that's somewhat flipping the field of play with one kick and a nice punt by Steinbrenner.
About a 47-yard punt.
Well, they needed something, and he got a bunch.
That's a nice weapon to have there. He gets that ball up in the air there, and away it goes. But he's got a good leg on him. Obviously, He's third in the MAC in punting.
And it could have maybe been a little bit beneficial when it hopped. It took a Versailles bounce, but not maybe as directly south as what you thought. It kind of started angling towards us, or it could have really maybe going inside the 30, closer to the 25. But nonetheless, Flyers on the 35 with 2.5 minutes to go. Quickly go to work. There's a penalty. Catch by Tyler Mesher, the tight end, and penalty in the middle of the field. To be some sort of pass interference, I'm guessing, on maybe Mesher.
Yeah, offensive pass interference.
OPI.
Was his first signal.
We'll get the official word from the referee.
Pass interference on the offense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
That's a big penalty, 15 yards backwards, and so that will be what, first and 25. I think I thought you said 15-yard penalty. Well, that's a huge penalty.
So first and 25 on their 20.
Well, we talked about the punt. If it would have taken maybe a little bit more hop south, well, this is the hop they could have gotten if it would have kept bouncing. So now the Flyers with 2:23 are on their own 20, 80 yards away from a score with the 2 timeouts. Dropping back is Ligers. His last pass was intercepted. That one caught.
Oh,
and
nice
good
effort.
work on the far side.
Pass complete to Ryan Toby, the 40.
That was Ryan Toby.
Gain of 20 on the play. Bring up second and 5.
Gain of just over 20. They moved from the 20 to the 40 and a half, 41-yard line. Well, it's nothing like getting yourself out of a hole again, Ron, when you have a penalty that really backs you up. Come out with a nice play. Good work by Ryan Toby. He picked up some extra yards along the side.
Right, he
and got out of bounds.
Yeah, he was isolated over there on the right side and made a nice catch and a great effort to get extra yardage.
Fumble.
So once again, Versailles almost creates a turnover. They get the ball on the field, but it doesn't take the bounce to them.
Levi Sherman in on the pressure, forcing another ball on the ground situation, but the Flyers able to recover. And again, Versailles, if they could have got that run, nice field position with enough time to score. Now the clock continues to wind. 3rd and 11 from the 34, minute 35 and counting.
Yeah, I think they'll probably be conservative on this play call. Let the clock run as much as it can.
They will call a timeout with a minute 28 left. We'll take a timeout also. We'll take a break and come back with more high school football here on NKTelco Sports.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Minute 28 left. The Flyers will face a 3rd down and 11. It's kind of an awkward situation, Ron. I don't think the Flyers want to try anything to stop the clock, and I don't know if Versailles wants to try to stop the clock and let them run plays. It's like each team kind of.
I think Marion would be happy right now going in the locker room with a 14-point lead, whereas Versailles would love to get this football back with a win behind them and try to put some points on the board.
That's true, but I also almost feel like you think if you start trying to call timeouts, you give Marion extra plays and get a first down. Next thing you know, you're defending on this end, but we'll see once here as a Versailles defense. If they can get a stop here, ball's tipped, caught by Kalig. That'll be a lot of yards, of about 6 or 7 yards from Kalig. Short of a first down. We'll see what Versailles does with a minute 14 and counting.
They have 2 timeouts left.
2 timeouts left.
But they choose not to use one here.
So with that said, Marion will let the clock run down to about, do my math here, 60 minus 17, about 45 seconds or so by the time they punt it. So they're not going to have a lot of time, will the Tigers. And Marion's even punting into the wind. Well, nearly touched, and it will take a nice hop for the Flyers and fielded by Wendell. Really didn't have to field it and run the risk of fumbling it, but he does secure the ball. He's tackled with 37 seconds left, and the Tigers, deep in their own territory, I assume will take a knee and try to get out of here and somewhat survive the first half, trailing just by 2 scores.
Yeah, we'll see once. After this, that sounded almost like a train coming through here, but
there's a semi.
We have no tracks.
I felt like we were at Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a semi, making sure the fans knew he was going by.
Yeah. Or it could have been Moeller Trucking.
I would say it's probably someone that's probably the trucking company here in town. So 37 seconds left. First half action of Tigers will go up the middle, no gain. A couple of Flyers trying to rip the ball out and force a turnover. And we'll see once here when they start the clock. If they wind it, we're under 25 seconds game clock. That will probably be the last play of the half.
They don't have to have another snap.
I'd be very surprised if they do, as the game clock down to 10, and both teams will start walking towards their respective locker rooms. 2 12-minute quarters are in the books here at Marion Local. The Flyers on top of the Tigers, 14-0. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have second half action here on NKTelco Sports.
You owe it to yourself twice a year a checkup at Minster Dental Care. Our specialized doctors, Jim Overman, Jim Myring, Sean Sharp, and Philip Slunkowski, are ready to give you the smile you've always dreamed of at any stage of your life. Pediatric, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry are just a few of the services offered. Our latest advancements include CEREC dentistry that allows us to create and deliver a crown in one convenient visit. We're located on State Route 66 in Minster, 419-628-3380 to schedule your appointment today. You owe it to yourself.
Jump, jump. What? Oh, come on. Set.
Plastic surgery is very expensive today. It costs...
Jet!
Jet?
Come on, shoot him.
Need more bandwidth? Switch to NKTelco and run all your devices.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends. in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
There's a lot of early mornings that go into 40 years of service, a lot of miles on these tires, and millions of pounds of cargo have traveled in these trailers. It's about dependable service, the kind of service that shows up 30 minutes early every time, that gets your products, cargo, and business from point A to point B safely, quickly, and efficiently. We are St. Mary's Trucking, traveling the roads of commerce in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky. Men and women who produce the solutions that make your business grow, because the most important thing to them is you.
Welcome back to Marion Local, where it's halftime. The Flyers on top 14-0 over the Tigers. And with some first half numbers, here's Ron Cruzy.
For the Versailles Tigers, they were 0 for 4 in the passing department. Rushing wise, they had a net of 1 yard rushing in the first half for a total of 1 yard offense. For the Marion Local Flyers, they were 4 of 8 in passing for 50 yards. They had 106 yards rushing. That's a total of 156 yards total in the first half. And the scoring plays at the 6-minute and 33-second mark of the first quarter had a 20-yard touchdown pass from Ligers to Kalig. The kick was good, made the score 7-0. And then in the second quarter, Marion Local scored on a Nate Muller 4-yard TD run. The Mesher kick was good, and that made the score is what it is right now, 14-0.
Marion Local will receive the opening kickoff to start the second half. And you mentioned basically the no yards, if you will, for Versailles. They had some rushing yards, and they kind of had a drive into Marion Local territory, and about 1st and 10 they were sacked for like a 10 or 11 yard loss, and that really just took the wind right out of their sails. And then they had a few other negative plays here that really ate into their total yards that they had gained, but other than that, the defense for Marion Local
their
dominated.
longest rush was 9 yards, and then they had a couple 6-yard runs, but the sacks come off of there, so really in the first quarter they had a negative 3 yards, and in the second quarter they had a net 4 yards.
Just one turnover in the game, and it actually was committed by the Flyers, an interception. Marion Local's put the ball on the ground a couple times, but come away with it. I don't know if Versailles has had any fumbles, but it's been Marion Local that has the one turnover and a couple fumbles they were able to recover.
Right, just one turnover in the game, and also I think there was only one penalty. That was the offensive pass interference on Marion Local.
It was a quick moving first half. I mean, it was actual time probably no more than 60 minutes. As we get ready to start the second half action, the game started at 7:30. It's 8:45, and a lot of ground offense kept the clock moving.
No penalties to stop it, and the incomplete passes, but there were only 12 passes total in the first half.
Kickoff near the sideline, fielded by Moeller on the right side. He's taking it across.
Penalty flags all over.
Penalty flag. He'll probably get tackled around the 20-yard line, but again, a couple flags way back on the 30, 35-yard line.
I'm pretty sure that one's going to come back.
So a potentially big play for the Flyers will be negated by a penalty.
Number 40 of the return team. 10-yard penalty from spot foul, first down.
Well, just as we say there was only one penalty in the first half, right away we get a penalty here in the start of the third quarter.
Marion Local will have the wind in the third period, as it again seems about as steady as it's been all game, Ron, just judging by the American flag in the north end zone.
Yeah, it hasn't changed. The direction's the same, and I think the strength of the breeze is still the same.
Yeah, before the game, Nice ceremony with the Versailles, I believe Osgood, North Star, Chickasaw, Marion Local, the VFWs, the Legions all presenting colors. The bands combined to do a very nice national anthem. Marion Local, their first possession, in and out of the hands or through the hands of the intended receiver, number 27. And that is Ryan Toby, broken up by the Tigers. Second down 10.
And Ryan Toby's a 6'1", 165-pound senior for the Flyers. That time the ball just out of his reach. He was well covered on the play also.
Mentioned lone turnover in a game by the Flyers was an interception by Mangin of Versailles, the game's only turnover so far. And the Tigers, their defensive line doing a nice job. No room for Matt Rothman, and it'll bring up 3rd and 10. So the Versailles defense can make a bit of a statement here if they can get the Flyers off the field, get the Tiger offense back on. Try to cut into this 2-possession margin right now, or 2-score margin that the Flyers own.
Three wide out to the left, one on the right.
Pressure, sack, and we'll see once who got in there. Number 77 it looked like, Bo Bay. So 77, Bo Bay, a 6'1" senior in with the first contact, and nice defensive stop by the Tigers. And
a loss of 7 on the play. Going to make 4th and 16.
This whole series, again, start of the penalty that took away a huge return, and since that penalty, the Flyers had just gone backwards. The kick is off. I thought he'd get a little bit more distance with it, but he doesn't cross the midfield stripe, so the Tigers, with 10:20 to go in the third quarter, will come out with great field position at the Marion Local 46-yard line. So if the Tigers had one wish coming out of the halftime break, it would be get a stop and get the ball back. And they not only got the stop run in 3 plays, but they got great field position and a chance for their offense now to maybe ride that momentum and try to get a score here in the third quarter.
Right, and that time the Versailles punt returner, he called for a fair catch and avoided the 10-yard rollout.
Pass and catch. Keaton McEldowney good for 6. So nice pass by Wendell. So that time they're able to get away from the Marion Local line.
Yeah, that looks like maybe one adjustment that they made, a quick out pass that they avoid trying to run it up the middle that time, although they did get yardage on the right side anyway, but that time, nice short pass.
Get around the corner.
Yeah, it's like a run anyway out there, just one-on-one.
Wendell will be near a first down, and again, not for sure if that was designed or if it was busted, but Wendell able to fall forward for about 3.5. Give him 4, give Wendell a first down. They move the chains, so again, a nice series so far here for the Tigers in these first 2 plays.
Yeah, that looked like a design play. In the first half, it looked like maybe the running back went the wrong way, and he just got some yardage out of it to the left side. But that time, it looked like he was looking for the hole right away.
Wendell came into the game with not many rushing stats, of course, unless those are negated by sacks, but more of a throwing quarterback, or handing off, if you will. That time he pitches it. They're looking to throw. McEldowney will get it away. He takes a shot, and actually the Marion Local defender became the receiver, and Versailles receiver became the defender, it looks like, to prevent the interception. So they're trying to maybe, I think it was number 38, A.J. Arns, possibly.
That's what it looked like. Came in there and
broke it up.
Yeah, maybe even with his helmet, the way it looked. He come diving in there, made a nice play, became the defender, actually, to knock the ball away.
A.J. Arns, brother to Justin, who's potentially going to Ohio State for basketball. An older brother, Kyle, who's playing now at Michigan State. Makes a good defensive play on the offensive side. McEldowney, a little bit of running room, brings up now 3rd down and 6, 3rd and 7. 9 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. A score here by the Tigers would surely give them some confidence, some momentum. Ryan Toby on the tackle for the Flyers, and 3rd and 7 from the 33. 2 down territory for the Tigers. They get a little bit here. They can make the 4th and manageable. Inside handoff again. McEldowney is stood up. The play action or the play fake didn't fool the Flyers.
Yeah, it looked like a counter play there, and the Flyers stayed at home and read the play just the way it was drawn up.
Cole Unrast and Henry Keller in on a stop. So now 4th and 7. So what was a nice, somewhat 3rd and 7, you hope to get some to make 4th more manageable. Now you've got to come up with a big play on 4th down.
Be the Tigers' biggest play of the game right here.
Wendell drops back, inside screen, caught. And it looks like he's going to be short on the reception. Noah Richard. I believe the receiver, number 23. He comes up, needed 7, got 5, maybe 6, not enough. Good attempt by the Tigers, and unfortunately for their offense, just not able to move the chains again, and the Flyers will start again on offense. Seven minutes, 40 seconds left. The Flyers did nothing in their first possession of the half. Open receiver off the hands, running down the middle, Ryan Toby. Nicely thrown ball by Ligers, and I'm sure Toby wishes he could have one more chance at that, as right in stride.
And Toby had a couple steps on the defender that time, right over the middle and just off his fingertips.
Throwing again with the wind at his back. Nice tight spiral by Ligers, and Toby will have to have a short memory. Flyers now 2nd and 10. I would expect probably something on the ground to just maybe get some yards. They've not done anything positive here in the second half. Matt Rothman, number 10, scampers for about 4. Rothman, a 5'9", 130-pound sophomore. Not a lot of meat on his bones, but able to get the job done.
And he comes out and Nate Muller returns, along with Ryan Toby.
3rd down, another big play. His inside handoff is right up the middle. I believe it was number 32, Jack Homan. He is going to be stopped, so 4th and 2. Probably seems tempting, but Flyers apparently are going to punt. Take that back. They keep Ligers in the ball game, number 14.
It's a little risky in their own territory here.
Play clock at 15. We'll see once they'll go live. Fumble. Either way, it looks, even if Marion would recover, it won't be enough. So the Flyers turned it over on downs, and the Versailles defense, 2 for 2 in the second half, have not allowed a Flyer first down. And boy, the Tiger offense, again, here's a Christmas present. You know, they better take advantage of it pretty soon. This is a gift on the Flyers' 37-yard line.
Yeah, they get great field position out of that. I guess you'd call it a fumble, but regardless if Marion would have recovered it, it still wouldn't have been enough for the first down.
Wendell wants 6 down the sideline over McEldowney's head. So they go for the home run ball somewhat right away, just maybe trying to catch the Flyers maybe a bit on their heels.
Stretch the field a little bit, maybe open up the running game a little bit for them.
Force them to defend a little bit more than just the line of scrimmage. We saw them on the last series run through a quick out pattern like a screen just to get around that corner that at times gave them trouble in the first half, and that resulted in some nice positive yards. Now it's 2nd and 10. Wendell hands off. Garrett Thompson falls forward for about 3 yards. So 3rd and 7 again. That's where they were at the last series and got nothing, and then failed to convert to 4th down, getting only 6 yards on 4th and 7. So
we'll see here if they go back to that quick out pass.
To the right?
Yeah, and get a one-on-one situation out there, try to break a tackle and gain some yards. You know, it's just like a glorified run out there. Nice short pass.
But more one-on-one versus trying to.
This time they don't have anybody out there.
Reverse. With the ball is Aaron Mangin. He falls forward, needed 7, got 8. Aaron Mangin, a 5'8" junior.
Nice counter play there. Double handoff by the Tigers and got some good yardage. Somebody didn't stay home there for the Flyers. They opened up a hole.
Comes up with a big first down. Again, I believe he's the one that had the interception in the first half. So 1st down 10. Flyers defense now backs against the wall as the Tigers are at their own, or the 26-yard line of Marion Local. Wendell will keep it. And Wendell will gain 3 or 4 yards. So Alex Wendell keeps it. Doesn't have a lot of rushing yards on the season, but came in with 22 attempts.
They got more of a balanced attack here in the 3rd quarter than they had in the first half. You know, they're 4 passes so far with about 6 rushes, so keeps the defense a little bit off balance.
Well, they send number 2, Keaton McEldowney, out to that right side, one-on-one. They'll pitch it to Mangin, and he sees a big hole. Goes from about the 24-yard line all the way down to the 9. 15-yard pickup for Aaron Mangin, a 5'8" senior.
That's definitely their biggest gain from scrimmage so far this evening. That was just a quick pitch out, and away he goes, but also to the right side again.
Running away from us.
So they really trust the right side of their line.
Handoff up the middle. Running back Garrett Thompson will get a couple. And that will bring up now 2nd down and 6, 2nd down and 7. Goal to go as they're inside the 10-yard line. So 2nd down, 3 minutes, 36 seconds and counting. 2-score lead for the Flyers, 14-0. Touchdowns in the 1st and 2nd period for Marion Local. Versailles now trying to answer with their first here in the 3rd quarter. Wendell keeps it. There's a penalty. Wendell down to the 1.
Probably in
face
the
holding. And that's from the spot, so that's going to be another major penalty. That's going to be 10 yards back. And Wendell's down. So the penalty will back it up. Wendell, the quarterback, Alex Wendell. Remember, they've had about 3 injuries in 4 games to key running backs. And
he's
Wendell
not putting any weight on his leg, right leg.
The only other player in the stats to throw a pass this year is Keaton McEldowney. So tough break for the Tigers.
Now he's got some weight on there. He's limping off, but
he'll definitely have to sit out this play. And
yeah.
You know, these are some key snaps right here when you're in the red zone, and What a big penalty. The holding penalty pushes out now to the 17.
And it will be Keaton McEldowney. I saw him taking some snaps over there.
6'1" junior Keaton McEldowney. Right now, Alex Wendell, 6'2" senior. See if he can walk off that injury. Second down, 17 from the 17. And McEldowney will line up in the shotgun.
Put him
pistol
in
formation.
Yeah, it's a bad situation for McEldowney. Come in and you're already 17 yards to go for a touchdown.
Lofts it up. Receiver in the end zone and catches
He got it.
17-yard pass and catch. Sam Bargy finds an opening in the back of the end zone. It wasn't maybe the prettiest looking design play, Ron, but at the 2:46 mark of the third quarter, Keaton McEldowney hooks up with Sam Bargy.
Yeah, it looked like the Flyer defender jumped too soon, and that left Bargy open, who just reached up and grabbed it with two hands.
And now is where things get interesting. Versailles has struggled on their PATs this season, most notably their game last week against Delphi St. John's. Missed the extra point and missed a two-point conversion and missed an extra point to tie the game late in the game. 67 will try the kick. Jacob Heitkamp. And that kick is true, straight through the uprights. And at the 2:46 mark, we have a 14-7 game. We'll take a quick break and come back with more football here on NKTelco Sports.
Here's the thing. If you're the kind of guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes farming, who gets up at dawn, determined to get the best crop and the best yield, why surrender to the mercy of the water table? Cy Schwiedemann Incorporated can lower your water table to an average of 2 to 3 feet below the surface, allowing you to grow stronger, healthier plants that root deeper, that are more resilient to the elements, that enable longer growing seasons, and can produce higher results in the fields and in your pocket. Trust CSI, your drainage experts since 1946.
Carriage Works has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. Carriage Works thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. Carriage Works now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. Carriage Works has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for Carriage Works. We are certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
14-7, Versailles has cut the lead in half. Nate Moeller again with an opening down the same side he opened the half with.
He needs a block, get one block. Didn't get it.
Well, good run back for Nate Moeller, number 28, just like he did the opening kickoff of the half. This one, though, won't be called back. And he has a very nice, probably about a 60-yard return from 120-yard line down to maybe the 30.
That was it.
So a 50-yard return.
That was like a duplicate of the
opening kickoff.
Yeah, the second half.
Penalty free though this time.
Ran the same way, same angle, about the same yard line and everything, but no penalty.
Well, the Flyers, their offense has done nothing in 2 possessions in the third quarter. They have great field position. They go to Moeller, who will be breaks a tackle. Boy, it appeared like Aaron Mangin had him, but he's just able to break free and turn a little gain into a very nice 7-yard pickup for Nate Moeller.
Yeah, it looked like he initially had him stop, and he got out of the arm tackle and gained another 6 yards off of it.
Boy, if Mangin had one other teammate to come over to finish it, that would have been a big stop. Instead, Marion Local faces a 2nd and 3 as we approach the final 120 seconds of quarter 3.
That's Rothman off the left side.
Number 10, Matt Rothman, had a couple carries the last series. That time gains about a yard and a half. It's going to be a 3rd and short. Jack Homan, number 32, comes into the ball game. Last time he came in, he lined up in the backfield like as a fullback. And he will do the same again here with Nate Moeller, his teammate behind him. They hand it to Jack Homan, who muscles his way through for 4 yards.
And that looked like the same play that they ran on 4th down, except they fumbled it. This time the execution was there and had a nice gain of about 4.
First down for the Flyers of the half. They creep closer to or inside the red zone now on the 17-yard line. Homan on the year had 16 carries coming into the game for just under 90 yards. Pass and catch. Ryan Toby, the receiver. And there's a stoppage whistle. I don't see a marker on the ground. There's 47 seconds left in the third quarter. Right now the ball is about on the 10.5-yard line.
Offensive pass interference, number 83 of the offense.
OPI, offensive pass interference on Matt Collig. That's a 15-yard penalty. Flyers don't seem to understand it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Doesn't mean that it wasn't an offensive pass interference. But I didn't realize those offensive pass interferences are 15 yards. That's a huge penalty. It's about like holding behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, well, the defensive pass interference is 15, so.
Is it? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, in the pros, I guess it's where the spot of the foul happens. But
right. But in high school and college, it's just 15.
I was thinking of defensive holding. That's 5 yards. Sometimes you get called for that when you get toasted, and not necessarily defensive pass interference, is more of holding.
Well, that's the second time offensive pass interference has been called on the Flyers, and obviously both of them hurt the drive. Now it's 1st and 25 from the 32.
The key thing is it's still first down for the Flyers. I mean, they've picked up 25 yards.
Oh, he's got some blockers out in front of him.
That's the little guy. He's going to go a long way. Matt Rothman, number 10, the catch. So that takes that 1st and 25 or gain of 26. So down to 7. Ronette got just past the 1st-yard marker, so it was 1st and 25 for about 6 seconds, wasn't it? From the time they snapped it to the time they threw it, the play was over. They have a first down. They're back to 1st and goal from the 7 with 17 seconds to go in the quarter. Homan stood up at the line of scrimmage, muscles forward over the 5 to maybe right at the 5. Jack Homan, the carrier, and that will end the third quarter here. The final 5, 4, 3, 2 seconds running out. And the Flyers will have it 2nd and goal. But we'll switch ends and go to the north end zone here when we come back with fourth quarter action here on NKTelco Sports.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications? Or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West Staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West Staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on a temp-to-hire basis. West Staff, your partner in business.
When you choose Radio Hospital for your wireless needs, you get 13 convenient locations, no waiting and long lines, premier service after the sale, and all the latest technology. With locations in Lima, Findlay, Minster, Kenton, Defiance, Napoleon, Wauseon, Bryan, and Archbold, we are right around the corner from you. Visit us today and experience the Radio Hospital difference. We are simply neighbors serving neighbors, providing a refreshing alternative to high-pressure stores. Radio Hospital is your Verizon Wireless premium retailer.
Fourth quarter action.
At 21st Century Kitchens, we know that every home has a style to go with it. From first-time home buyers to families with the pitter-patter.
And they will have a chance here to answer the Versailles touchdown. And this drive started with a great kick return by Nate Moeller. He took it from the 20 of Marion all the way down to the 30 of Versailles. They've overcome an offensive pass interference call to get them right back in scoring position here, 2nd and 5.
He's in.
And he will score.
5 yards out,
Dwayne Ligers answers at the 11:55 mark of the 4th period. Ligers goes in from 5 on a 5-yard rushing touchdown. The Flyers now on top 20-7. Tyler Mesher, wearing number 9, will come out for the point after touchdown. So the Flyers do a nice job answering Versailles' score. And Versailles had had some momentum run. They shut down the offensive Flyers first 2 possessions, come back and score. And you're thinking, okay. But boy, Marion Local, again, good kickoff return, nice pass catch with number 10, Rothman, and then the running touchdown by Ligers. And it's 21-7. We'll take a break and come back here to Marion Local High School here on NKTelco Sports.
Your parents have given you so much throughout the years. They were there when you won first place. Your first heartbreak. Your first car. Your first wreck. Graduation. Planning that special day. Is it time to give back? Give your mom the life she gave you at Elmwood.
Actually worth $1,510.
We're live here. And in case you missed it, the 50-50 this week is not quite $14,000+ like it was at the Coldwater Marion Local game. I think it's more like $1,500 tonight if I hear or heard right. What a pot they had last home game with the Coldwater Cavs Marion Local 50-50 draw.
We did not win.
We did not win, but I know a local resident from, I believe, Chickasaw did earn the win, and congratulations to that person as we are set now again back to live action football, and Versailles finds themselves back down by 2 scores. Garrett Thompson brings it out to the 35, and that's where they will start their offensive series, and they will try to build upon their last series where they scored, but can't take a, I mean, there's still a lot of time left, but you got to keep in mind if you don't score and you give the ball back to the Flyers, they can really kind of grind the clock out on you without probably even realizing it, just with the ground performance they have. So it'll be critical now for the Tigers.
Versailles will have the wind at their back for the rest of the game.
And McEldowney's still in, as Grisey will be shut down for a yard. It was the last series where number 11, Alex Wendell, right before the play right before they scored, I believe, is when he sprained his ankle. McEldowney came in and threw the touchdown to Sam Bargy.
Versailles, excuse me, Jeff. Versailles did have 68 yards total offense that 3rd quarter, so up from 1
total yards in the whole first half.
Right.
Well, they didn't get sacked, I don't think, in the 3rd quarter. They did have a penalty that moved it back, but they were able to answer. Here's a quick whistle and a timeout. So 11 minutes, 10 seconds left. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching high school football on NKTelco Sports.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
If you want to save 70% on your heating, cooling, and hot water costs, the answer is right under your feet. Let New Knoxville Supply install a water furnace geothermal system and use the natural temperature from the earth for a more constant temperature in your home. Also ask about our new Symphony home management system. Control temperatures, track energy usage, and receive safety alerts for everything, including your sump pump. All from anywhere, anytime. Now is the time to calculate your savings at newknoxvillesupply.com.
2nd down 9. following a Versailles timeout. And they're going to get sacked, so they're going to lose 4 yards.
Looked like a mix-up there in the backfield. And you're going to get some of that with a new quarterback.
Tackle for loss on the 33 by number 33, John Knapschafer. And what kind of stinks, you burn a timeout because you saw something that you didn't like, and then you come back with that. I mean, that just makes you scratch your head. But, you know, when you got a defensive line that's good and strong and fast, sometimes things don't always work the way you want them to. But a tough break for the Tigers. A good defensive play by the Flyers. 3rd and 13 from the 33. McEldowney rolls out, lofts it up, and making a nice catch inbounds is number 22, Aaron Mangin. That time McEldowney rolled this way, throwing with his grain, or not against the grain, but with his throwing motion, and it's not enough for a first down, though, after that nice completion because of the sack yardage. That'll bring up 4th down 5 from the 40. So gain of 7 on the passing catch from McEldowney to Mangin. Steinbrenner will punt.
We'll see this time if the Flyers are deep enough here.
That might have been touched. Steinbrenner
It's either touched or off the side of his foot, but he's going to spot that ball at the 48.
A tough break for the Tigers with the wind behind them. Couldn't really launch a nice punt. Steinbrenner tried to draw a penalty. No laundry on the ground. The Flyers will take over. They will try to build up on this 2-score lead, 2-touchdown lead. They did so their last drive with a rushing touchdown from Dwayne Ligers.
Ideally here, the Flyers would want to just keep the ball on the ground and take it in for a score. But we'll see if they're able to do that on the Versailles defense.
Low snap picked up and nowhere to run for Henry Keller. Jacob Heitkamp and Bo Bay both in the backfield to stop Henry Keller for a loss of 2, loss of 1. Coach Goodwin in his 18th season. Coach Adam Miller for Versailles in his 5th season. Both these schools come in 1-1 in Midwest Athletic Conference action. There is a pass intended for
a flag on the
Ryan
play.
Toby. It's broken up by Keaton McEldowney. And the penalty will go against.
Tigers pass complete. Intended for Toby is incomplete.
Defensive pass interference is what he
Coach,
motioned.
I'm assuming head coach for Versailles out on the field a little bit, not happy with the call. I didn't see it again, but looked like the end of the play. It was a good, clean play, but I don't know what happened. You know, while the ball was in the air.
That time again, he threw it up, and he went up. The offensive guy went up for it, but we couldn't really see what the defensive guy turned around and looked for the ball like he's supposed to, but we didn't see the contact.
Watch the top of your screen. There's 2 and 27 going at it.
The only thing I can think of is maybe you put a arm bar out there.
We didn't have the best angle, but tough break for the Tigers. Flyers will take advantage of it. Rothman squeezes forward for 4.5 yards. Rothman getting some carries here in the second half. 5'9", 130 pounds. Not one of your bigger looking tailbacks or running backs, but he has a nice offensive line that's been giving him some space, and he comes out and
wouldn't take a very big hole for him to slither through, would it?
No, it wouldn't. Nate Mueller checks in for Rothman, and Mueller, height-wise, about the same, 5 feet 8 inches, but had a few more pounds on him at 160. Jack Homan, the ball carrier.
Jack Holman right up the middle to the
And you mix that in with Jack Homan, who's 6'3", 205. So they go from Rothman at 130 to
205.
130 with Rothman, 160 with Moeller, and then Jack Homan at 205 and about 7 inches, 6'3" compared to 5'8".
And about 70 pounds.
Yep. So various weapons in the backfield, whether it's size or strength or speed. Moeller busts a couple tackles, fights through. First down, gain of 6. That puts it at the 25, and the clock will wind at the 8:05 mark once the first down markers are set. And Marion again, 2-touchdown lead, in no hurry to run offense as they can consume a lot of game clock here and force
the
Tigers in a big hole.
Yeah, they get the play clock below 5 here before they snap it.
Well, they will elect to pass Dwayne Ligers.
Got
Down
him
the middle,
open.
open receiver, touchdown. 25-yard pass and catch. On the other end is number 27, Ryan Toby. Ligers to Toby for 25 yards at the 7:38 mark. And a 20-point lead now for the Flyers. Trying to bump it to 28-7 with the Tyler Mesher PAT. So a little bit against Ron, what you and I maybe thought would happen. You keep it on the ground, just eating up time, but they had a nice play. They kind of rolled out, and then the receiver, one-on-one coverage. Nice pass.
Right.
Really a safe pass, too.
It's almost like they were setting that up all the way down the field.
Yeah, run, and then break their back with the pass. Mesher splits the uprights. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more football on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Welcome back here. The Flyers on top 28-7. We'll take another look at the 25-yard pass and catch from Ligers to Toby. As Ron said, really maybe setting it up the whole way down the field with runs and then rolling out here, and just there goes Toby cutting against the defense.
Yeah, he has a half rollout to the right, and Toby lined up on the right side and did a post pattern and pretty much wide open.
If anything, it was probably underthrown by a yard, but still enough room for Toby to catch and fall into the end zone. Toby came in with 3 receiving touchdowns on the season. He now has 4. He's a leading receiver on the Flyers squad coming into the game by far. He had 212 receiving yards and the 3 touchdowns. Add 25 plus whatever he's had today, and another score for his 4th receiving touchdown of the season. Ligers now has thrown for 6 touchdowns on the season. So 7:31 left. Not much time for the Tigers, who already are to the backup quarterback and do not throw the ball much to begin with.
It's good to see Wendell is back in there.
Sorry about that. It's good to see you're right. Wendell is back, number 11. Missed a series with the ankle injury. We've seen how mobile he is. It looks pretty good now. That ball will be incomplete. I think it hit the grass.
He's going to call it complete.
Keaton McEldowney with the catch, and boy, give Alex Wendell credit. He kind of, again, rolled out and rolled against his body and made a difficult throw. So first down for the Tigers. Clock running at 7:15. A long way to go. Not much time left for the Tigers. Wendell, 6'2" senior, looked very good on that particular play. Again, he'll drop back. inside screen overthrown. Noah Richard, the intended receiver.
That time he had to throw it high. Adam Frank come in there and disrupted that play. He had to throw it over his head, and it was too high for the receiver then.
Frank 6'1", but came in, as you mentioned, almost with the arms up. Made it a much more difficult pass, and that's one of those plays, though, if you can hit on it, it can be very successful. He had some room to run, but he all starts with catching the ball first. 2nd and 10. Wendell, incomplete.
Just about hung on to that.
I believe, again, Noah Richard, the intended receiver, in and out of his hands. 3rd and 10, under 7 minutes to go. At the end of today's game, Ron and I will be picking a player of the game. That is being sponsored by the Corner Cafe, which is about a good kick or maybe a long 7-iron away from here, Ron.
Well, for some of you.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, we won't say who's golfing, but the Corner Cafe, just north of the end zone here. They are the fine sponsors of that Player of the Game award for Marion Local. Thank you to them. Wendell under pressure, escapes, finds Richard, and if it's going to be good for 14 yards, Noah Richard has been a favorite target for Alex Wendell. Richard will come off the field as the chains move. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball on the Flyer 45.
They're going to have to pick the tempo up here a little bit with just 6.5 minutes to go.
Going down the field, Wendell's hit as he thrown. It was a clean tackle. In on a pressure for the Flyers, number 45, Jared Bergman, forcing maybe Wendell to get rid of that just a little bit sooner than what he wanted. The pass was overthrown. Good pressure by Jared Bergman.
And good cover by Tyler Pringer.
Clock stops. That's maybe a blessing for the Tigers. You hate to see the incomplete pass, but again, it'll give them a chance to kind of reload here, regroup. Although the play clock is nearing the 10-second mark. We're at 10 now, and they're breaking huddle. Down to 5. They get it off, and Wendell will look down the field again. That pass high over the hand of Noah Grisey. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 10. And back in for the Tigers is number 23, Noah Richard. Richard has come up with some catches here as of late. Been a target for Alex Wendell.
Well, they're definitely in 4-down territory here, so they don't have to get it all on this play.
3rd and 10 from the Marion Local 45, 6:16 left. Pressure again from the Flyers, and this time it's Bergman. He's going to stop the forward progress, and the referees will blow the play dead. Sacked by Jared Bergman, a big loss of yards for the Tigers. Now loss of 9 yards brings up 4th and 19. Clock moving. The Flyers, knowing he has to pass, can really kind of go all in on the rush.
And they can relax the defensive backfield, can back up now and keep the ball in front of them is going to be their goal.
Marion Local had their 31-game home winning streak stop their last outing here at home. They're looking to start a new one tonight.
Blitz.
And nice blitz, and nice job by number 75 recognizing it, Dylan Keller. A defensive lineman's dream, right? Come away with the interception, couldn't quite do that, but read it well, read the screen and knocked it down. Turnover on downs. Ball goes over to the Flyers. 5:20 left. Marion Local, unless they really self-destruct here, self-destruct should earn their second MAC win of the season and go to 4-1 overall.
3 wide left, 1 wide right.
Number 24 was a quarterback. Number 10, Rothman, is running it. So number 24, Nick Tangeman, a 6'3 sophomore,
We have a
165.
holding penalty there on the Flyers.
So Tangeman in at quarterback. As I said, a 6'3", 165-pound sophomore.
10-yard penalty from the spotted foul. Replay, first down.
As we approach the final 5 minutes of this contest, I want to remind everyone again, we'll have a second, our sponsors that allow us to bring you this: Carriage Works, Cy Swiderman, St. Mary's Trucking, Francis Furniture, Minster Dental, Minster Bank, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Swiderman's Pharmacy, Elmwood Assisted Living. As finding room around the left side is Nate Moeller. Good positive yards for Nate Moeller. Also, our sponsors include 21st Century Kitchens, Radio Hospital, West Staff. Our scoreboard sponsor, again, First National Bank, Think First. Keys of the game brought to you tonight, Bud's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Salina, where the dealer makes a difference. And our player of the game being brought to you by Corner Cafe and Maria Stein.
That was a nice run there by Nate Muller. Gain of about 17 yards, enough for a first down.
And I believe his night might be done, right?
It looks that way.
So new quarterback and new running back right there, number 13, Nolan Hasbadaz. I think they put him in just so we'd have to say his name.
I'm pretty sure they knew.
Habadaz.
Yep.
How's that? Nolan Habadaz, 5'10 sophomore, getting some varsity action. So the Flyers defensively played well tonight. Offensively did a nice job. Give credit to the Tigers. They made a one-score game in the third quarter when
they actually had the momentum there in the third quarter. And then the long kickoff return brought the momentum back to the Flyers, and they haven't released it yet.
Jack Beaning, number 40, 6-foot junior with the carry. Yeah, you mentioned right after Versailles got that touchdown, and Marion's offense hadn't done anything for 2 series. You think, okay, but it was, I believe, Nate Mueller, number 28, that took it, like you said, from down here in front of his own bench all the way over across the field and gained and went south for what turned out to be great field position, and they converted. Beaning stood up at the line of scrimmage.
That's going to make it 4th and 1.
The Flyers will definitely go for this first down here, and that would probably end the game with them having possession.
Yeah, Versailles has 2 timeouts left, but if they get a first down here, that pretty much does it.
Should seal it. Yep, I would agree, as the Flyers will go under center. And the pitch goes to number 13, Habadaz, and he gets the first down plus about 6 more, so a nice 6-7 yard by Habadaz, and first down for the Flyers. So the blue and yellow will start a new home winning streak tonight. They will go to Anna next weekend to play at Anna against the Rockets. NKTelco will be there as well. And Habadaz is going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and knowing that we will go to Anna, we heard the semi go by tonight and blow his horn, and we should hear at least 2 trains go by us at Anna as we sit right on the tracks to do our broadcast. And It's about clockwork every time we're there that one or two for sure go by. Rockets are a team that Versailles defeated 2 weeks ago, was at 20-12.
And we covered the Anna Minster game. I think that was last week. Minster defeated Anna.
Habadaz has stopped. So as we finish the final minute of the game, the Flyers and the Tigers. Coach Adam Miller on the other side has to be pleased with his team's performance. Again, they've battled injuries. You look across the field, you see a lot of guys wearing jeans, which means they're out of uniform, and two of them are standing in crutches, and they lost their quarterback for a series tonight, so they've dealt with some big losses at, let's say, skilled positions. And they, scores a little deceiving, as like I said, it was a 14-7 game a quarter ago. So the Tigers put forth a good effort against a very good Marion local team who also, deals with some issues as well, but a little bit more advantage, maybe more depth. And able to win tonight's game 28-7. As I don't think they'll even re-snap it. The play clock is at 23, the game clock's at 18, and the players begin to walk towards midfield, and that will be it.
Ladies and gentlemen, last week at Minster, Coach Goodwin
So
earned his 200th
Coach Goodwin, who earned his 200th victory last week, gets 201 tonight. The Flyers start a new home winning streak at home. And that is your ball game. We'll take a short break, and when we come up, we'll wrap things up here from Marion Local High School, where the Flyers have defeated the Tigers 28-7 on NKTelco Sports.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler, with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community, with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
You owe it to yourself twice a year a checkup at Minster Dental Care. Our specialized doctors, Jim Overman, Jim Marion, Sean Sharp, and Philip Slunkowski, are ready to give you the smile you've always dreamed of at any stage of your life. Pediatric, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry are just a few of the services offered. Our latest advancements include CEREC dentistry that allows us to create and deliver a crown in one convenient visit. We're located on State Route 66 in Minster, 419-628-3380 to schedule your appointment today. You owe it to yourself.
Jump, jump. What? Oh, come on. Set.
Plastic surgery is very expensive today, Coach.
Jet!
Jet?
Come on, shoot him.
Need more bandwidth? Switch to NKTelco and run all your devices.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
Welcome back to Marion Local High School, where the Flyers are victorious tonight 28-7 over Versailles. And with our recap, here is Ron.
For the Versailles Tigers, they ended up with 5 of 16 passing for 64 yards. Rushing, they had a total of 28 yards. That's 92 yards total offense. For the Marion Local Flyers, they were 6 of 12 passing for 100 yards. Rushing 168 yards, a total of 268 yards of offense. In the second half, we had in the third quarter at a 17-yard TD pass, McEldowney to Bargy That was for Versailles, and the kick was good. That made the score 14-7. Then in the fourth quarter at the 11:55 mark, a 5-yard TD run by Loigers. The PAT was good. That made the score 21-7. At the 7:38 mark in the fourth quarter, Loigers to Toby on a 25-yard TD pass. The Mesher PAT was good, and that made the final score Marion 28 and Versailles 7.
Fine performance for the Flyers, and the numbers kind of support the final score. And with that, we're going to go ahead and work our way into our player of the game tonight, brought to you by Corner Cafe, sponsored by Maria Stein. And that award goes to Nate Moeller. Nate had a good game and really set up the offense well, rushing the ball. And I believe, Ron, he also did some other things other than rushing. He had the big kickoff return that kind of stopped the momentum from Versailles after their score. A big kickoff return to give his team great field position.
Yeah, that turned out to be probably the biggest play of the game for Marion, as the momentum was switched over to Versailles there in the third quarter. The kickoff, he had one called back. The initial kickoff in the second half was called back for a penalty, and then that particular kickoff after Versailles scored, he ran it all the way down. I think it was down around the 20-yard line, and that turned out, to be a big play for the Flyers because they went on to score right away, and that just turned momentum of the game all completely over to the Flyers, and they've never really relinquished that.
So congratulations there, and I want to thank our sponsor again, Corner Cafe, and that will wrap things up here from Marion Local. I'd like to thank our camera people this evening. Our field camera tonight was Kurt Kuffner. Our main camera was Tyler Wolf. Our production crew, Daniel Allen and John Quillhorse. For my partner tonight, Ron Cruzy, I am Jeff Hench, and we hope that you enjoyed tonight's telecast. Once again, your final score, Marion Local 28, Versailles 7. Thanks for watching.